What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about that Watch Dogs needs to get its release date at Ubisoft Forward. I want to make quite a few videos on Ubisoft Forward as we get closer. So it's July 12th. We're in the first week, obviously, of July here, so not all that much time is left until this happens. I think it's going to be a really, really amazing event. We're going to have videos on Splinter Cell, on Prince of Persia, lots of different videos I have planned for you guys over the next week or so, again, leading into this event, and then I'll be covering that event when it happens. Watch Dogs is obviously a key pillar, right? It's absolutely a key pillar of Ubisoft, and we've heard more and more from Watch Dogs as these months have gone on, mainly through like the grapevine, right? Through like leaks and rumors. But the thing that worries me the most, and which I do want to talk about in this video, and I'm sure I'll have another video talking about it if and when it's confirmed, is that release date, and more specifically, if it's too close to Assassin's Creed. Now, literally, I've talked about this for a long time, probably like 7, 8, 9 months. I even made videos, again, almost a year ago saying, will Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed hurt each other if they release too close? And this has been a pitch that, again, I've had out there for the longest times, and rumor has it that Watch Dogs will release firstly in 2020 as long as everything remains on track, and that Ubisoft is okay with it releasing close to Assassin's Creed. Not just close, but within like a month or so from Assassin's Creed. So, again, the importance that we get of a release date for Watch Dogs, that's definitely one of it. So let's talk about that first. The idea that Watch Dogs was supposed to come out, and I say the same thing in every video in terms of this part. Watch Dogs was supposed to release November of 2019. Okay, it got pushed to March, then it got pushed indefinitely. It needs to kind of come back out there. Now, again, we saw footage of it last year, so it hasn't been all that long. It's the footage that I show you guys in these videos. Again, that was a year ago. That was back at E3 of 2019. So, and it looked good. It looked solid. I know a lot of the videos I make on Watch Dogs are kind of negative. They're more attacking the game, but again, I mean, my point of it has always been the same. I want this game to be amazing. I want this game to be good. I don't want Watch Dogs to die, the franchise to die with this game. With that being said, the first two Watch Dogs games sold insanely well. I think this game would sell pretty darn well. I think it would almost guarantee future Watch Dogs games, but I am concerned. I mean, there's really no way people cannot be concerned about this game. Again, the game has a lot of worrisome signs, and again, one of which is that here we are, we're in July now, and there's nothing. There's no release date. Now, again, we're going to get that, I think, July 12th, and when could we get it? Could it be October? I think, the thing is, Assassin's Creed is probably releasing dead smack in the middle of October, okay? Probably like October. I think the rumors were like in that 13th to 16th range. And so if Watch Dogs comes out, I would say, you want it to come out first. I don't think you want it to come out after. One, I don't think you want it to come out anywhere near it, but there's really nothing we can do about that at this time, right? But if you're going to do it, if they're both going to come out in the fall period, I really feel like Watch Dogs has to come out first. I think, as I've always said, Assassin's Creed will hurt Watch Dogs more than Watch Dogs will hurt Assassin's Creed, okay? So Watch Dogs coming out first is not going to, in my opinion, stop people from getting Assassin's Creed. Whereas if Assassin's Creed comes out first and then, say, Watch Dogs comes out a month later, I think that would affect it. I think if you have Assassin's Creed, say you get Assassin's Creed like October 10th, okay, and then Watch Dogs comes out, say, November 10th, I think people will still be playing Assassin's Creed. I think people will still be playing next-gen games. In fact, everybody will start to be playing next-gen games, right? So people's their minds will be on a lot of different things versus Watch Dogs. Whereas if you get Watch Dogs out, say, in September, then you can say, okay, well, you have Watch Dogs, you can play it for a month, you can play it for a month and a half, it's on current gen, maybe you'll have the free, because again, rumor had it is going to be for next gen as well, so you'll have the next gen upgrade, that's fine, right? And then you'll have the next gen games, you'll have Assassin's Creed, and you'll have all the rest of the stuff. I think Watch Dogs would do okay there. Now, again, I really think no matter what situation it is, it's tough. I want Watch Dogs to get the release date in a week and a half, okay? I want that. At the same time, I'm worried about it because I kind of don't want to see that it comes out, because here's another thing is, and I'm not saying I don't want to see it coming out, it's going to come out near Assassin's Creed, and we're going to get the Assassin's Creed release date, I think, as well. I think that's probably a slam dunk guarantee, right? So not only going to get Watch Dogs, we're also going to get Assassin's Creed. Both their release dates probably in the exact same event, probably within like 30 minutes of each other at like the latest, right? So it's going to be really interesting. Again, I've always said that I'm concerned about this game. I've always said I'm very excited for this game. I think, again, if you put this game out in September, maybe like early September, that is the best thing at this point that you could do for it. Now, again, remember, rumor has it that out of all these games, so there's Gods and Monsters, there's Rainbow Six, there's Assassin's Creed, there's all these different things. There's Far Cry that they'll announce, and that'll come out in March, hopefully, right? But one of the things talked about with Ubisoft in general is Watch Dogs is that game that if something happens because of what's gone on around the world, this is a game that can be pushed. A lot of these gaming publishers, a lot of these companies, they've had different models, or they've had basically different projections to show, hey, here's under, like, if we're not that badly hit by what's going on around the world, here's what our numbers will look like, here's how many games we'll release in a certain time period. But if this is what happens instead, if we have to delay it, if something happens, then this is how many games we'll release, and this is how well we think they'll do, right? So, and Ubisoft is one of them. Ubisoft has said, under one model, we hope to get, I think it was like 6 games. We want to get 6 games released basically between like now and March, but it's possible it could be 4 or 5. It's possible some of those games could be pushed. I think Watch Dogs is a game that could be pushed. I think Far Cry is another game that could definitely be pushed if they need it to. Not all that much, a couple months, but still, I mean, with Watch Dogs, it's getting ridiculous, right? And if it gets pushed, then honestly, well, here's the thing. Like I said, these games need to be spaced out. I've always thought that. But if you have Assassin's Creed come out first, and then Watch Dogs is a bad product or just not as good, and that comes out after, that also makes it look bad, in my opinion. If you have 2 games that they very heavily, I think, take from each other, right, and I guess in a positive way, but, they borrow things, and Watch Dogs has pretty much always been the Assassin's Creed replacement game, right? If Assassin's Creed doesn't come out in the fall, you can sometimes, I guess, expect Watch Dogs to appear there, right? So Watch Dogs is, it's got that kind of connotation to it. Again, it's a solid game. I like the first 2 games. I think there's a lot of really, really positive things in them. But if Watch Dogs was supposed to come out in November of 2019 and it got pushed all the way, and say it gets pushed even more, and say it comes out in like February or March, well, now it's been pushed a year and 3-4 months from when it was originally supposed to come out, and it comes out after Assassin's Creed, and it was definitely supposed to be a game that released before it. So think about games in general. You hope that games get better over time, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't that sound kind of bad to you that, okay, Watch Dogs was supposed to release in November of 2019. If it ends up releasing after Assassin's Creed, I think that's going to hurt it even more because it could feel outdated. It could look outdated. It could just be people are still, people like Assassin's Creed more. Assassin's Creed still is going to hurt. I mean, all of these different aspects are going to hurt this game. So really, again, as I've always said, Watch Dogs needs to come out first. And I mean, the way they were going to do it, there was going to be 0 problems because it was going to released last November, and it wouldn't have even been close to Assassin's Creed. And yet, at the place we're at now they're going to come out within like a month or 2 of each other, or Assassin's Creed may actually come out first. So it's tough. It's honestly tough. It's a situation with say Skull and Bones. Like Skull and Bones, that game should have probably released in like 2018. If it came out now or next year, let's say, and it was in the same, it looked the same, it felt the same, it was literally that exact same game, it just took them this long to make it, it would obviously feel super outdated. It would be like, okay, we wanted this game 3 years ago. Obviously, a lot of things have probably improved from now, and it should have been just a different game, right? That's why the Skull and Bones, if we ever do get it, is going to be radically different. In fact, we know it's been rebooted like 3 different times. So it's going to be such a different kind of game, probably made for right now instead of made for 3 years ago. The problem with Watch Dogs it's still made for last year. It's still made for 2019, and the longer it goes, the worse it looks. And also, again, Assassin's Creed is really going to hurt this thing. I mean, I keep saying it out loud. I don't want it to will it into existence, but I think people are going to be surprised. I think not a lot of people are maybe necessarily thinking about it. Again, I'm not wishing that it does bad. I want Watch Dogs to do good. And with that being said, I should maybe make it clear, I'm getting Watch Dogs. I'm going to be buying it day 1. I'm going to be getting Assassin's Creed day 1. So I have nothing against, again, either of these 2 games. I just think you're probably going to see Watch Dogs Legion sell the worst of the 3 games. I feel like that's what's going to happen. Now, again, the next-gen versions to it, all that different kind of stuff, that could definitely help it. I think having a next-gen version, having a free upgrade, all that kind of stuff, that would help it. Getting it out as soon as possible, getting it out as early as you can from Assassin's Creed. I would almost wonder if they would push Assassin's Creed a few weeks to even help Watch Dogs. Like, if they could get Watch Dogs out first, second week of September, it would have to deal with Avengers, actually, if it did that. But say still, okay, it comes out first 2 weeks of September. Do you try to get Assassin's Creed out as at the latest of October as you possibly can? Like, maybe that last week, like Halloween's week. Could you do that? I know they probably wouldn't want to do that, but do you do that because you know it's going to sell well, you know it'll be fine, you know that maybe it actually would benefit from coming out closer to next gen. And at the same time, with Watch Dogs, you'd be giving it as much, you'd be trying to give it like 2 months. You wouldn't actually give it fully 2 months, but you'd be giving it as much time as humanly possible. I think a lot of the people that watch my videos, a lot of, my audience, you guys, I think we're all on the same page. I think we're all in a kind of agreement that these two games should not be this close to each other, that this is definitely going to hurt at least one of them. Again, I really only think it's going to hurt Watch Dogs. I really don't see it. That actually would be really cruel if it somehow hurt Assassin's Creed. I think it'll only hurt Watch Dogs. But again, as with a lot of these things, that it's all a wait and see kind of thing. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think we're going to get the release date at Ubisoft Forward in just around like a week and a half from now? Let me know. Let me know if you think it's going to affect, Assassin's Creed, if Assassin's Creed is going to hurt Watch Dogs. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And like I said in the beginning of the video, we're going to have loads more videos predicting different things. I think we'll be at this Ubisoft event. I'll be covering it. We'll have loads of videos that day, the day after, talking about anything that Ubisoft announces there, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.